What up, fam? My name is Smash Afrika, and you can see I'm in a dealership. Where am I? Mini Northcliffe. Why? Because we decided to pull all our aces up our sleeve, because this season is going to be electric.
We're good. Are we good? Oh, because everybody just went quiet. There wasn't even an action. There's no actions on this set.
Hoy there, bruh.
What is up, guys? Sandile. I've been told to explain myself, but I believe that you guys might already know who I am. I am an actor, I am a presenter, I am a philanthropist, I am a farmer, I'm an all-round entrepreneur, and also a mental health advocate. And I believe in what I do, and I'm passionate with what I do. I am here to leave it better with Smash Afrika in the building.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. On that note of being a presenter, my boy, Sad Man in the building.
In the building.
Entrepreneur, former electrical engineer.
Yes.
And most importantly, my brother.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You know. I thought they already knew. You know.
Are you good?
Hey, brother, it's January. You know, so January, I've always seen January as that month that prepares you for the year. So I'm exhausted always in January. I had to make the time to come and speak to you because you've always been on my neck about it.
Yes.
And here I am.
And also this was for me was a great opportunity because I knew that you're not busy with a lot of things in terms of that require you to be there for many hours.
Yeah.
Your phone is off. I can only reach you after, let's say, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So I saw with your activity on the WhatsApp stories that
Yeah. No. Actually, that's true. You're very right.
Your WhatsApp stories gave you away.
They did, man.
Yeah.
But as much as I'm not that busy, I'm still quite very busy. You know what I mean? So it's just, you're right. It's not about the on set for 12 hours a day where I can't even begin to do these things. And so I think that's what God has put my way right now so that I can do other things before I get into that. And this is one of those things, And yeah, man, I'm busy. Sure. Very, very much busy. The farm, about the farm.
Yeah.
We're expanding, basically. I found me some 22 hectares of land, and we're about to move towards that space. I don't want to say too much about it, but yeah.
You've said enough. I will not ask any further questions.
Cool.
Because I just want to experience it. Maybe we'll even come to the farm.
I think you should. I think you will.
I think coming to the farm and trying to see if we can wake the chickens up.
And it's funny because that's actually something that's supposed to be happening now because we're moving from egg production to more of selling the actual chicken, and so we have to grow it from point of lay. So from not from point of lay, from day one to point of lay. And so throughout the process, they need to just be eating the entire time, so they can't really be sleeping. So I'll hire you, my brother.
It's so crazy. I didn't even know. I know nothing about the chicken business. But I just thought, because chickens are or the rooster will wake you up. And I'm like, you know what the gag would be?
What?
Wake those mofos up.
Let's flip the script. Yeah, bro. I mean, look, what type of person I am, bro. I'm really all about learning in the field. I really dive deep. I dive in hard, you can see. This is, I don't know if you can tell, the camera quality can show. We really, really go.
You want to tell me you got that scarf from?
Yeah, bro.
It looks fresh, that scarf.
It's not, these are really fresh. But that just goes to show that it's not easy. It's not easy. And a lot of the experiences we've had there are extremely something that we haven't thought that we'd ever experience before. But I think that's the progress and that's the growth, It's all about pushing through and pushing harder and keep on going until you see some sort of success in that, So I've learned a lot about chickens. I can tell you a lot about chickens.
I'm not here.
Let's start there. Did you know that I'm not going to put anybody off. I'm trying not to put anybody off. But did you know that the egg that you consume is basically the chicken's period?
Yeah, it's that time of the month for the chicken.
Every day.
And essentially what you are depriving the chicken is of having another chicken because you love eggs.
Not really. Not really. I mean, once they're fertilized, it's a different conversation. But the ones that you eat are not fertilized. They're just eggs that get released, So just so you know, FYI.
And also, I'm only playing along because he told me this information before. So I'm acting dumb right now. Bro, and this is the first time, I think it's actually the first time where I'm sitting and I don't have my laptop in front of me.
Yeah.
Because, when you're speaking to family,
it's
trying to have like the information in front of you
Yeah.
can make you a little too rigid.
I get you.
When we are
When
actually
it's
free.
normally just,
Sorry, we were free
yeah,
around each other.
just fluid.
Yes. And I want to start with like a different one.
Okay.
I want to start with. So recently, I found out by the internet and the news that the planets were aligned a certain way. This is me just telling you, as my boy. Not
I
on the
love where you're
podcast.
going with
Yeah,
this.
not even like podcast level.
I love where you're going with this.
So I find this out,
Yeah.
and I go on Google, planets aligning. Hey, news networks talk about it. And
Yeah.
they're like from the said date, I think 26 Jan all the way to sometime in Feb.
Yeah.
And then I go outside, and damn,
What?
these planets are aligned, and like you can see, like there's a difference between how a star is lit up and then how a planet is lit up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then jiggy, I'm interviewing you a day after the new moon. That's
That's
this
crazy.
is some crazy
So we're gonna go
shit.
there. So we're gonna take it there.
This is some crazy
We're
shit.
gonna go there.
And I want to set this up for the people watching. So Sandile and I love talking about the universe and everything that's around us. Nothing happens by chance.
Yeah, definitely.
So your first response when you find out that these planets are aligned, and then we're having this chat that we've been meaning to have literally a day after the new moon.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind?
Look, man, you know what? This is such an unpredictable experience. Like a lot of it is you think you might know what it brings for you. It never really brings what you think. You know what I mean? So I think to begin it, we have to start with the fact that there's this book called The Deification of Planets, right?
Okay.
And people don't understand that planetary gravitational pulls really do affect how we behave here on planet Earth. In this sense is that we can use the moon. We always see the moon, okay? And we all know that the moon controls tides in the planet, right? High tide, low tide. We know this. So when we say waters on the planet, we speak of all the waters in the planet, just not only the ones that are in the ocean. Like we speak about the ones that are in our bodies as well. We're made of 75% of water, 70, 75, whatever the scientists say.
It's actually 79, but yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And so those waters also get affected, the high tide, low tide situation. And that's why in a full moon, we have occurrences where people become super emotional, where people become, a lot of incidences happen on the road, a lot of incidences happen in households. And so this is just an example of how planets actually really do control what happens on planet Earth. And that's what the deification of planets speaks about. It speaks about the fact that back then astrology was quite the study, right? And they used to look up into the sky and notice that when there's this planet in retrograde or closer to us, affecting us gravitationally, something happens on planet Earth. And so they made a study about it, And so whenever that many planets are aligned, things are bound to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to give you another example of what the book says, it speaks about the fact that Hermes, for instance, is Mercury. And we all know that Hermes is the messenger of the gods. And so therefore Mercury controls communication on planet Earth. You can Google this is Googleable, research. And
So we are having a chat. I want us to do it like how we do it at old lady's house.
Yeah.
We're not even thinking about,
I'm sure when we have chats in the old lady's house, you understand a lot. So I had to just give them the introduction to the conversation. So yeah, man, like when we're talking about now what was happening with the alignment, normally what I do is that I would prepare, right?
Sure.
By that preparation, I'm talking about avoiding anything that will lower my vibration. I'm meditating as much as I can. I'm trying by all means to introspect. I'm trying to find out what I need to change about myself and what I need to grow,
Sure.
And that always, after the fact, I always realize that that's quite egocentric of me. I think I know.
Tell me more.
I think I know. I think I know this is what I have to do. I think I know. And then you find out, Uguti, that's not what God wants for you.
Yeah.
You're going to get hit.
Experience
it.
it.
You can't prepare.
You need to experience it.
And so this particular one found me having a literal mental breakdown.
No way.
I'm serious. Like I had a conversation with my mother. I had a conversation with my little brother. And I was like, geez, man, I'm feeling quite emotional right now. I'm actually feeling out of character, And then it hit me that That's exactly what is supposed to happen, because I'm the type of person who always feels like they need to be in control of everything in my life, especially. I'm afraid of chaos energy. And I realized that because of that, I haven't really allowed myself to experience chaos energy, and therefore I'm underdeveloped in that place.
Crazy,
You know what I mean? So yeah, afterwards, yeah, I sat there and I was like, okay, so this is something that I need to dive deep into. Let me start running away from chaos energy and let me accept it so I can view myself and see myself or grow myself holistically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look at chaos energy and I experience it a lot in my dreams.
Is it?
Every time
In what sense? Like,
every time I dream, like everything is going well. And then let's say the ground that I'm walking on starts shaking like an earthquake. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
crazy my dreams can be
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
Or the building that I'm in
Yeah.
is shaking and
Yeah.
now there's no way of getting out the building except for jumping.
Uh-huh.
And I've been having these kind of dreams since I was like a kid, right? So one of the things that I used to do when I was a kid, I used to panic around the chaos. And the panic would either me trying to jump, me screaming and hoping someone
Yeah.
will come and save me.
Yeah.
But now when that happens, when there is like an absolute furore or
Furore.
yeah, like
Any furore, man.
muhusu, when it's just like loud, crazy
Okay.
shattering of glass, noisy and all of that,
Yeah.
I just zen out and I look at everything around me.
Yeah.
And I've realized the more still I am, the shorter that commotion, that destructive energy.
That's actually beautiful, bro.
The more I am
And
like, and I'm talking about stillness in the sense of like, dog, like I know it's going down here. I have no control. And if I stay, like it's shortened, like that dream is shortened and it's like back to my peaceful sleep.
you know, it's funny, dude. That's actually beautiful because I used to say that a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like, and like I said, easier said than done, what you're saying. Because also I've read many places that says that whatever emotion that you're feeling is an emotion that you feel. The more you run away from it or the more you try to push it away or be defensive about it, the longer it sits.
And especially if you are avoiding the lesson that comes with that
The
emotion.
lesson, because the lesson is what's important. Like
Yeah.
the challenges. I was talking about challenges of life nje, literally the other day. Ngisho ukuthi, we view challenges like a bad thing. We see them as a negative. We always do that. Like we tend to do that all the time. And then I've had encounters and experiences where I decided to see it differently. Ukuthi challenges happen. And these challenges are challenges because they're there to make you the person that you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I even posted on my WhatsApp the other day. I was like, if you have a vision, right? You have a vision about yourself in the future. There will be challenges.
Yeah.
And these challenges are all for your
Benefit. Yeah.
They're for you, meaning they are there to transform you, turn you into the person that you see in the vision.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation as well with a musician friend of mine,
Yeah.
and he said to me, Guti, Dwana, why is life so like this? I'm like what? Like overwhelming. and you know what's funny? You know what's funny? When I'm sitting there, because sometimes when we're talking, when we're having chats like me and you, I say things that I just thought about then. You know, like I have an epiphany then based on these conversations. So it's not something I thought about or I even knew. Then I was like, shit, dude, it just hit me. Like what? I'm like, you're a musician, right? You make a song and then you have an idea for a music video. And you literally have that idea in your head, like you have it down to the T. You know where you're gonna shoot it. You know what the studio's gonna look like. You know who you'd like to be in that music video. You know all of this in here. You've sat and you've thought about it and you know it. And then you're gonna try your hardest to make sure that what you see in your head is executed in real life, right? You're never happy until it's fully concluded, and then you make it happen. If somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, let's include a bouquet of flowers in the video," and you say, no, but that's not what I'm seeing in my video, right? I'm not seeing this in my music video. And then you continue pushing about what you see there. And then I was like, then why don't we ever do that with our life?
Yeah.
Like you have a vision of music video in your head and you want it to succeed. So you want it to succeed. and you visualize it almost every day to make sure. And then when a person says, hey, I think we should have a bouquet of flowers, and you're like, no, that's not what I see in my head
And
about
you are
me.
staunch about that.
Yeah.
And like you are steadfast about your, I don't want no bouquet.
Yeah.
And you give them a reason why you don't want a bouquet. And then you give them an example of the bouquet there is like, you see why it doesn't work? And then why don't we do that with our lives?
Why don't we do that with our lives? Why don't we say no to the things that don't verify or qualify the vision, like the vision that we have about ourselves, the music video? So I was like, okay.
Did he give you an answer?
Nah, he said, damn. He said, damn. And I said, damn. And we sat there for like 10 minutes thinking this thing that I just said, like, because I'm telling you that it's not something that I would have said back then. It's only because of the conversation that we had that I got the epiphany. So we sat there for 10 minutes and we're like, damn.
That's crazy. If you have discovered the answer to what Sandile has just put in front of us, right? Please share it in the comment section or just something. Because I think in having conversations like these, someone is on the same wavelength as us.
Facts.
And
Facts.
Someone is also ahead of us.
Facts.
Someone is behind us.
That's important.
So there's always this, like I always call it, there's pavement and there's always someone in front, someone in the middle, and someone at the back.
And then actually, now that I think about it, I know a lot of people who are actually in front in that sense.
Yeah.
For real. And because of stubbornness, right?
Yeah.
You tend to, I don't know what that feeling is. You tend to get a feeling of, hey, when you're bored. Because you don't understand what it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, I know them for, like, I know people personally who are quite staunch about what they want and what they see for themselves for the coming year, for the coming 5 years, for the next 10 years, and they're very staunch. And I realized it must be the music video playing in their head. And now that I know
I like that analogy, man.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
And now that I know this, I don't hate on it. In actual fact, I'm very inspired by it. And I think that's something that I'm also going to execute this year.
I just had an epiphany as you were saying that.
I love epiphanies.
I would even, not even a rebuttal, but just add on your planning or your plans of this music video in your head and your obsession. If you surrender it to a higher power, which is God, sometimes you will know when to let go and you will know when to hold on.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
okay. We're done with the deep shits. You can smoke your Zol now.
Bro, I think we're not done with the deep shit. You called me here because this is the chat that we have. What you mean? We're gonna keep going back to the deep shit.
So
and
let's take it back, dog.
Yeah.
So you are an electrical engineer.
Yeah.
You get shocked.
Oh.
Like electricity shocks you, literally. And that shock.
Dreamstream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcast in our full-service studio. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcast in our full-service studio. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
I don't know if you've even reflected on this, makes you believe in like, actually, this shit is not for me. I'm going to Joburg to go and hustle. And
bro.
I'm going to pursue this career in the entertainment industry, come hell or high waters. Whatever security that I've had with this job, fuck it.
Yo, bro, you know,
was it that moment? Oh.
I've had so many conversations like about this, like private, but never really fully public on a space like this. You know? So I think this is actually the perfect time. So I was talking to Ubongane, one of my colleagues at the time, and he equated that story to him just before he went to prison. He used to house burglarize, he used to break into houses. Yeah, he used to break into houses. He's like, you remind me, if you started by saying,
Yeah,
as he's smoking.
Yeah. And by the way, that means you have courage, you have grit, you have...
Yeah.
You have no... Yeah.
But also a level of craziness.
Yeah.
Like a level of... Yeah, you gotta be crazy to think like that and to do that and to actually execute it, And so it's like, bengishaye isibreak naye mfethu siyaplana ngaphandle, we're planning, he's already inside. He's waving from the kitchen. It's like the door's
like,
open.
I'm inside.
Yeah, I'm inside.
Come in, let's do
the
this
door's
thing.
open, you know?
Crazy.
So yeah, it's interesting because when that happened to me, bro, like I was 19 years old, you know, and so, you know, taken from high school, you're good at maths and science, you know, you can actually do this electricity thing, you know. So I went to the training center, learned everything generic, meaning I can use basically every tool under the sun, you know. And then we went to go work in the Northwest, and I had made it, bro.
Doug, you are 19 and you are getting paid.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You're
saying.
like-
I was getting paid like 5.1, but I mean, it's big.
As a 19-year-old?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Come on.
It was pretty big, and I was living in a garage, basically, somebody's garage. They moved their car out because it was hard finding a place to live in the Northwest. So I was living in a garage. Me and my friend were sharing it, and I thought I had it made, bro. I was like, okay, I got it made. I'm gonna get myself a yellow bone girl from the Northwest, you know, have a child, you know. Eventually, I'll elevate. I'll elevate.
Why?
You know, because that's the thought process in Pumekasi, dog. Like, you know, Pumekasi, you think, okay, you get a job, it needs to be stable, then you get that polo, and then you know. But we know now, many is where we should be.
I love that smooth transition.
But yeah, so you think to yourself, that's what I want to do, you know? And then God was like, nah, actually, that's not the path for you. So one fateful day, I have to go change compressors, meaning compressors are the things that push air down the mines. We're working on the 14th level, so they were expanding to like the 15th or something like that. I don't quite remember. So I was working in the substations. And that fateful day, I cut that cable, bro, straight from the transformer, 33,000 volts to 13,000. It's a step down transformer. And boof. And that's exactly the feeling that I got that day, bro. Back when I used to be super spiritual, I'd make an example on some, dude, I legit saw my life flash, you know. Literally as I cut, boom, the fire from the cable came out of it, like it came out of the cable, because, you know, I don't know if you've seen these videos of people from Eskom cutting cables. It does this thing called an arc flash, where you literally see the light dancing around, you know, like the electricity before it shuts off. So that happened, and it knocked me down. I was working with my artisan at the time. It knocked me down. I wake up. I asked this guy, I'm like, what happened? Because we followed all the rules, right? We followed all the rules. We isolated, we tagged out, we locked out, we made sure. And then he picks himself up, he finds me, he runs. He's gone. I'm like, okay, that means I gotta pick myself up. And now I pick myself up, and I'm like, oh, my joints are tired, bro. Like, my joints were legit tired. And then comically, this is always so comical, bro. Like, as I stand up, I kid you not, they started showing up like literally cartoons above one another on some, hey man, sit your ass down. Hey, sit down, don't stop getting up. No, come. And I'm like, dude, I'm fine. Then they sat me down like, no, I'm fine. Like, no, I'm fine. Whatever, long story short, we had an investigation on the mine that day, and this guy called Kwes, big guy, he was the engineer at the time, big guy. And they showed us examples of everybody that has happened to, you know. And he literally turned back to me and he looked at me. He's like, tonight, I'm gonna pray to the God that you pray to. And I went,
everyone dies.
Basically, bro, I had changed the statistic at the time. And so I remember going home that day and thinking, I'm gonna go study electrical engineering. I know my parents didn't save up for it because they thought I was solid, but I'm rather gonna be the guy to send people down there to go get electrocuted, and I don't want to be in anywhere near this kind of energy. But to take it more on a deeper level, I feel like I died that day and then I was rebirthed as someone else. That's when I made the decision. I did tell you that we're gonna go deep continuously.
Fuck.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that I had to go through that experience, but at the same time, these experiences are personally designed for us, you know? Like, I'm blessed that I did go through that experience, because then if I hadn't gone through that experience, I think I might still be doing the same thing at the same time, you know? I'd be 30 years old still working in the mines. I was that convinced until that experience. That's when I was like, okay, I died and I'm reborn. I want better for myself. I want more for myself.
And you know, you just started, bro. You just got in, bro.
But that wasn't my first electrocution also. It wasn't my first. The first one I got. We were working on the chairlifts. So in the mines, when you go underground, right, you sit on you jump onto these chairlifts. They never stop. They only stop in like via emergency. So you jump onto the chairlifts and they take you down. Cold as hell down. It's cold as hell there. You know, you go down. You're just trying to keep from like freezing. So we were working on the chairlifts. Emergency stop, and we have to now fix the light because the lights are in series. So therefore, if one is out, all of them are out. I don't know why they wired them like that. It was an old school way of wiring, yeah. So we had to fix this one light. So after doing all the fault finding, we get to find what light it is. And now because I'm an apprentice, so I was working with my artisan, and then my friend's artisan was also joining us just to, you know, chill and also make it quicker, basically. Yeah. So the two appies are sent up the what's it called, the ladder to go and find what the problem is. And so I go up first. All right, cool.
Man, you feel
up the ladder. Bro, up the ladder, bro. Unscrew that thing. I don't know if you guys know fluorescent lights, right? The fluorescent, the long ones, tubes, right? You have to first take out the tubes and then you unlock the thing and then you drop it down. Now the problem with the design of that thing, bro, is that it basically balances off the cables that you connecting there. So I'm trying to make you understand that there's live and neutral. So when you open it, it falls down, right? And then it balances on the cables connected to it. Yeah. So now as it's dropping down, it makes a spark.
And you know, that is not a good thing.
The live is dancing around there. So that's why it's not on. It's because of the fact that the live is not connected properly inside. So now I have to work like this, bro. I gotta put this thing on my shoulder, right? And then try my best to screw it on and push it down, but also screw it on at the same time while I'm balancing this thing here. I feel like I'm doing it. I'm working. I screw it in, and then it goes out again because the cable is short. Okay, I keep on working. I step into Robert Greene's method of mastery where you get your tongue out like this. And time doesn't exist anymore.
Everything is paused,
like
the time out means everything pauses.
Just as I think I got it, bro, I touched the screwdriver, the metal part, but it's connected, so I touch it, so it's live basically. The rubber's safe, but the metal part is live. It hits me. I'm like, hi, young dude. I run down.
Next.
And then my homie is like, I got this. He also runs up the ladder. And I'm like, yo, Ngobi, dog. Yo, be safe, yeah? Be careful. He's like, man, I got this. This ain't nothing. I'm like, boy, I'm telling you.
You didn't tell him that?
This homie, it took him a minute. And here's what I hear. He drops everything. He drops the tools. He's trying to balance on the ladder. It hit him immediately. Hey, and you see now, that's a dangerous place to work, man. And man. I mean, every morning they had to take you through like an entire safety course and a safety meeting, and they showing you people getting smeared on the walls and people who got taken in by a machine and stuff like that. And I was 19, bro. That's some traumatizing thing, you know?
Also, I'll tell you one thing about a 19-year-old. They are fearless.
Yes.
You know, they always say, I don't know where I got this from, but I think maybe it was Tupac in one of Kendrick Lamar's albums where he was doing a talk. It's like, you don't see a 30-year-old on the picket line.
Yeah.
Because they've experienced life.
They've seen
life
it,
has thrown hands, and they know they're not going to march.
But also that's that wisdom also. You know, I think the wisest people are the ones that have experienced the most. You know? Yeah.
Speaking of being wise, I would consider you wise in terms of how you navigate the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in talking about how it started, but more into like what's for you and what's not for you.
I see.
Who is that individual who was able to like pay it forward to you in terms of your ability to make the right choices? Professionally, personally, family-wise. Because, you know, sometimes people don't succeed in life because they are not from a well-off house.
Yeah.
It's because of the choices that they make.
Of course.
Who is that one person who gave you the tools to make the right choices for yourself?
You know, I'll always start it here when I have this conversation. And it literally has to be my mother, bro.
Yeah.
And I say this because I know I'm a parentified son. I know that I'm a parentified son. I have experienced just as much as she's experienced in her own personal relationships as well. And so I think because of that, it sort of already made me think a little differently, you know. And what I love about it the most is that she would sit me down and have those conversations with me, you know, like treat me like the adult, even though
You were
when you
still a
look,
kid.
yeah, but treat me like an adult and say, look, this is what we got to do, you know, this is what I have to do, and this is what I have to move to. So I think the honesty, just her honesty and her seeing me on a specific level already made me start to see myself on that level too. And so whenever I do maneuver through the industry, because we know what type of industry that we're in, right? I always go back and I say, I must always remember that I have a mother, I have a little sister, I have a little brother. How will this decision affect them? And if it's embarrassing for them, as for lack of better words, embarrassing for them, I think about that and I say, let me not participate in this, you know. So that's why if you see, I'm rarely involved in a lot of situations because I always, before I make a step, I see and I question myself is, what would this mean for them? And I think that is something that grounds me. And so if I were to make it more relatable, what's important in our industry and what's important in just life in general is being grounded.
Yes.
Always push to be grounded. It's easy to be taken away by the wind if you're not grounded. And I fully believe. And the groundedness, it could be from anything, literally. It doesn't always have to be your family. It could literally be in your beliefs. It could be literally your spirituality. It could literally
be in your friends, bro.
could be in your friends.
Could be in your community, whether it's at church
Yeah.
or your community of, like, let's say you play squash with a group of people, you're a cycler, or
Exactly.
or cyclist, I beg your pardon, whatever, yeah.
And the most beautiful thing is that once you start to ground yourself, and I think we're going back to now, we're circling back to the music video. Oh my Lord, this is me.
All right.
Hey,
There you gotta
busy
go.
body.
They gotta jump in
Oh,
on this
snap.
conversation.
No. Let's hold on to this because this is not that it is important. It's work, but it can wait. This is work too.
Yeah.
So I think we're circling back to the music video in your head because once you really ground yourself, you then start to attract people that can assist you and maintain your groundedness.
Yes.
You know, if you're
Yes.
not grounded and you're going with the wind, you're changing too many times. Meaning you also get lost. You lose yourself as well. But if you know who you are, which is easier said than done, trust me, I know. If you know it, trust me. Come on, I'm 32 years old. You know, you've experienced life has hands. You know, but yeah, if you do that, you then start to attract people that are of like mind. You know, such as yourself, myself with you, literally. It was an attraction thing more than anything, you know. And I think that's what we always have to push for, the groundedness of things.
Bro, one of the things that you did that was selfless to me, and I'll never forget it. I'm on the set of Impini, and you know, like they just gave me this cameo role to play,
Yeah.
and you are there the same day I am there,
Yeah.
and I am nervous as fuck.
Couldn't tell. I couldn't tell.
I
couldn't
am
tell.
just like, yo, you're gonna fuck this shit up royally.
Yeah.
But you are there, right? And then you hold my hand. And then you say, my boy, we're going to walk this journey together.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I knew it was not because we knew each other that way or we consider each other brothers, but it's the person you are.
Yeah.
Why is it so important for you to create space and a safe space for people that whether you are working with them directly or indirectly and just being, I want to call you a walking cane.
Oh, I
not
don't
a
like that
crutch.
at all. Oh,
Not a crutch.
okay.
Because a crutch is something you rely on.
Yeah.
But a walking cane is something that you can put down once you've found your way around the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it comes from security. Once a person is secure within themselves, they then like to pay it forward.
Yeah.
They like to assist and push without expecting anything in return from a person.
Sure.
And I mean, in my industry, in my field, I've been just so lucky to work with veterans, right? People who have been in this industry for the longest of time. I've been really lucky to be held by them. Like if we speak about How to Ruin Christmas, if we speak about How to Ruin Love, there's veterans there that I've worked with, you know? And you get to sit down and see them on set and how they behave. You just realize that for you to succeed in this industry, in any field, you just have to really be secure in yourself. You have to really be confident. And I think the confidence comes from the security. So you can't just say to a person, be confident, right?
Sure.
Because it doesn't come.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
And especially for someone who's not confident.
You know?
It's like,
Just-
what do you mean?
Just be confident. Yeah.
It comes naturally.
You have to know where it comes from. And I think it comes from being secure in oneself. And I mean, I had a similar experience on How to Run as well, where I'm stepping into the scene and here's Desmond Tutu, here's Rami Chwene, here's
Desmond Dube, you mean?
I mean Desmond Dube.
Yo, Desmond Tutu's like, I'm acting, but I'm dead.
The thing is, yeah, Desmond Dube, there's
Desmond
Rami
Dube
Chwene.
is gonna probably find this funny. You
No,
must
of
send him
course.
this clip.
Yeah. Cut it out. Edit that part out. I know you won't also. But yeah, you know, those are the type of people that I used to be with and hang out with and actually work with. And I've been blessed and I've been really, really, really grateful about it, because then you get to see they pull out the best work and they make it look so effortless because they step onto set wanting to make this a thing bigger than them.
Yeah.
They want to have everybody comfortable so that they're comfortable to play as well. You know, they don't want to be worrying about a person who's worried about something, and so it's always a conversation. It's always,
Insecurity.
insecurity.
So they're always trying to.
They want you to shine.
Goes back to
because
that
if you shine, I
Ah.
shine. If you, I don't want, you know, some people would then, in certain experiences, I mean, I've had this encounter, one of my first encounters that I'll never really mention, I won't mention the person, but they wanted to see me, or they wanted to see themselves above me, but we're sharing that scene.
How crazy.
I mean, look, I don't know what it is.
Insecurity does that.
I guess, bro. And then I got fired from that job, bro. I got recasted. Ooh. I got recasted so quickly. And then this person finds me in the green room and they walk in and they don't know that I'm there now because I had to shoot the whole day and I only shot twice. And then they were like, go to the green room real quick. And then I get a call and they're like, nah, they're recasting you. I was like, shit, what? Yo, did I suck that bad? And this was early in my career, early. I think my first 2 jobs around there.
How do you not get hurt by that and not want to inflict the same pain you experience to other people? What is so unique about you to choose being the bigger human being?
I believe it's the people that I surround myself with.
It's crazy.
I draw from a lot of the people that I surround myself with. Like for what this instant, Patricia Boyer, who was my acting coach at the time, was like, let's not let this stunt you. You're great. Yeah, it could have. Bro, I'm telling you, this person walked into the green room, not knowing that I'm in the green room, and did this. Hey, and left. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. Before the producer walked in and said, yeah, we're gonna recast you. And I was like, oh my Lord. So I've had really beautiful people that inspire me, that I can draw from, you know, from times like these, because nobody is
Dreamstream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcast in our full-service studio. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcast in our full-service studio. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
knows it all. Nobody knows it all. And so we lean on to the ones who are wise and the ones who have experienced to share some of their wisdom. And I think it's unwise to not listen to other people's wisdom. They have wisdom because of the experiences. I'm not the only one who's ever encountered such a situation. It might feel like I'm the only one at the time because I am quite naive. I haven't experienced it, but now I have experienced it, you know? And so because of the people I surround myself with, I then was given the opportunity to understand that it happens to a lot of people. It doesn't mean it's the end, and you shouldn't take it as something that's going to stunt you for the rest of your life. Just know that this is an experience. You have the wisdom now. Now you know what you need to put in to succeed. And just keep going, you know?
Man, that's crazy, man. Don't be a fool, man. Listen, use the tool.
Listen. I
learn from the school of hard knocks.
It gets so difficult to... I understand why a lot of people don't listen to wisdom. because then you can see it as yourself. You can see yourself as, also, that means I don't know. You can say you feel as though you're being undermined when you are being corrected, or when you are being guided, you feel undermined. And that's something that a lot of people go through. But you reach a point where you're like, look, what does this person have to gain? And this is the question that I ask myself as well. Like, what does this person have to gain by undermining me? And this person who's experienced, who's sharing, who's taking the time to share their wisdom with me, what do they gain by undermining me? And then from that process, that thought process, then I go like, no, I need to listen.
And that's how you leave it better, bro.
Yeah, bro.
How crazy is this? Everything, the
being left
synergy
better.
is insane, dog. Like, and you don't even have to mention people's names, but people have gone through experiences and they know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, yes.
And if you are that person who's making it hard, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and find out why you are hurting so much and deal with that.
That's, you know, even saying that is the same way as telling a person to be confident. It's just, it's really, and I keep saying this, I keep reiterating it because I keep having conversations with a lot of people, and I know it's easier said than done. It really is. Like looking at the mirror, looking at yourself in the mirror. I actually had to do mirror work. There's a book that I had to read to do mirror work, and the mirror work is literally staring yourself in the mirror and starting to gain that relationship with yourself. There's tricks. It's tricks that you have to do to be able to convince yourself. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, when you guys look at yourself in the mirror every day, which I'm sure a lot of people do, the first thing you do is look at your imperfections. Let's let that land a bit.
I think you're so spot on. The first thing you take note of.
Yeah.
Is
Are your
the
imperfections. Now, if there's a person, let's take this person that's you and take the mirror person as another person, right? And you see this person every day, probably 10 times a day. And every time you see them, they're always pointing out your flaws. How are you going to feel about that
It's
person?
going to rock you. It's going to make you a sad person. It's going to actually, it's negative energy.
Yeah.
It's going to literally drain you.
So you're the first person to give yourself negative energy and expect other people to give you positive energy. And that's the thing that people say. They're like, why am I confident? I'm confident because I validate myself. I mean, there's many things that I still know that I lack, and I take accountability for, that I know that I still lack. And I think my knowledge of the things that I lack doesn't come from a place of me judging the things that I lack. You know what I mean?
How do you make sure that ego does not come into play there?
Well,
because, I mean, we all have an ego. And here's one thing I can tell you about the ego, right? It's not going anywhere.
I was about to say that.
Ain't going nowhere.
I was about to say that. I was about to say that. I was about to say that. Ego is a part of life. Ego is a thing that we all definitely have. But we must, the same way, if we were to talk about masculinity.
Sure.
Not that ego is masculinity, but I'm just making an example. Masculinity in itself is not a bad thing. Toxic masculinity is, however. So we just need to be sure that we understand that part. Same with ego.
You got to be mindful of the ego.
You got to be mindful of the ego.
Yeah.
The ego will work with you or work against you.
I like that your ego has worked with you in terms of, I guess, like endeavors that you've taken outside of the creative space.
I'd like to believe so. I can never really verify that. I can't confirm or deny.
I will tell you
I
for
cannot
free.
confirm or deny.
I will tell you for free. It was your ego that said to you, I like certain clothes, but they don't sell them at the shops. And I would be damned if I don't make these clothes that I specifically enjoy.
Maybe the plug that you spoke about, the plug, maybe it's ego.
You know?
Maybe you plug is ego.
Let's talk about Sandile, dog.
Yeah, yeah.
And because you and I have had a chat about the journey, and it's been an up and down journey, but also a blessed journey.
Definitely.
I would even imagine the founders of Mini or the owners of Mini Northcliffe know that running a business is not easy.
At all, man.
What gave you the audacity to say, I'm going to start my own fashion line with my best friend and it's going to be a real thing? And you guys did it.
Yeah. And I mean, you laid it down perfectly, bro. It's the idea that I realized that I have, and this is a lot of other people, I have this thing where, especially with fashion, I have the idea of how I want to look. and I go to the store looking to fulfill the idea. The same way the music video, if you're gonna go back to that. And then I realized that a lot of other people think differently. And that's when the beginning actually started, because other people go to the store to sort of pick and choose what they think is nice.
Or influence what they think they like.
Yeah, so the store will influence what they think they like. So they go to the store, I need some clothes. Then they peruse and they browse and they say, okay, this t-shirt, oh, and those pants, they match. They
Or
go.
a mannequin that's dressed a certain
like,
way,
I
and
want
you're
this.
like, I wanted that. Like,
And so I've always been different, and my friend as well, Undumi, so is also the same, where you have an idea, and it gets so frustrating, bro. I won't even lie. It gets so frustrating where you have an idea of how you want to look, and you go to the stores and you don't find it, and that's where the biggest issue became. And then I was like, look, I'm wasting too much time going to like 4 different stores for 3 different days to prepare for 1 day, you know. And so I was like, I want to make the clothes then. I want to make the clothes that I see in my head so that I can wear them when I need to. I even told Netflix. I told Netflix the other day, I'm like, yo, I'm not finding clothes, man. And I bought a machine and I sent it to them. I was like, I bought a machine and my homie is stitching up real quickly. And they're like, oh my God, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, this is how we move. And so Sandu was born from that, the idea. That's why it's Sandile and me. So we both have that passion. And so, yeah, we created the clothes.
it's
and we
crazy,
sold.
man. King is one talented engineer, bro. King will take like a kharteni, a curtain.
Yeah.
A normal curtain.
Yeah.
Let's say it's 4 meters long.
Yeah.
And he will make a fit.
Definitely.
A top and a bottom, a 2-piece.
Bro, King will come to the farm dressed in rappy shorts, a crop top t-shirt, like a Nirvana crop top t-shirt, and cowboy boots to come and work the entire day.
By the way, King is Ndumiso.
Yeah.
The other half of
Sandu.
Sandu.
Yeah.
I just needed to just give King his flowers,
flowers
like
there,
while
innit?
we're talking about
Exactly.
Sandu.
And I mean, look, the challenges are challenges are there, bro. Like, we are currently suffering from selling out quicker than we can restock. And this is a pattern that's been happening for quite some time. And like having a plaque, a person will be like, that's a good thing though. But I don't see it as a good thing. I think of it as a cycle, you know. And so what we're doing now is we're moving towards selling equity so we can get some injections so that we can push in bulk.
I was gonna say, is there a way that you can actually fix that problem?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
good problem to have.
Yeah.
But now it's a matter of like the cash flow and the amount of the turnaround time in terms of product
Yeah.
and the demand. Because
Yeah.
you also can't like, let's say now you are over ordering,
Yeah.
and now you're gonna be left with too much
much
stock.
stock, yeah.
And you also don't wanna, because from the previous time you saw, like, we did not under order, but we just like got the right amount of people for all the stock that we had, and we sold out.
Sold out.
How can someone leave it better? Someone who knows more in the fashion business. Is it a matter of picking up the phone and calling you, hitting up in the DMs? Because there are people who know more.
Yeah,
in terms of
definitely.
the fashion business.
I mean, Sandile M _, you can hit me up on the DMs. But I've been having many of these conversations with a lot of people in the game as well, and this is an important lesson that I think a lot of entrepreneurs can also learn from, that I learned, and it sat in my heart and since then. 20% of 100 million is better than 100% of 1,000 rands. So know that there comes a time where you have to share the pie so that you can have bigger results, basically. As much as if you start something, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs like to start something and they fall in love so deeply that they want to micromanage every aspect of that thing, but they don't know that with doing so, you then end up choking the thing because you're limited in your own understanding of certain things. You know, unless you really do love being thrown in the deep and fighting your way back, but then that also makes you lack in other aspects of your life.
Yeah, because now one thing about fighting in anything, charge energy, bro.
Yeah.
It's a waste of energy in most cases. And when you and I are like about peace, so everything needs to flow. We should not.
Bro,
we should
I need
not.
it to
It's
flow,
not
man.
about strife.
I need it to flow, man.
Things need to flow, dog.
But yeah, just to conclude that part, it's to know that it's okay to share. Believe in God and believe in what God wants for you, and have these meetings, have these conversations, feel the person that you're speaking with. Don't think too much about it. Just feel if this person really is engaged and really does want to see this project succeed.
Sure.
And so just to kill it there is that 100% of 1,000 is not as better or not better than 20% of 100 million. It's a real conversation.
Now, in closing, we need to talk about being the farmer. One thing I like about the story of the farmer, it's not about him.
What you mean?
So you go into farming because you've got access to land.
Yeah.
But you know that people need to eat. You could be a livestock farmer or otherwise. Do you know what I mean? And based on in a country where a lot of people enjoy meat and you have different kind of livestock, you can even open a butchery.
Yeah. Definitely.
Or you can go from your products, go to an abattoir.
Yeah.
Someone owns, or your company owns it,
Yeah.
or you part own it, and then goes to the butchery. And then we sell it to the masses and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Now, the farming that you're doing is like, you notice that in South Africa, we love chicken. And in terms of, I don't know the amount of research that you did, but you know that chicken moves faster than red meat.
Yeah, of course.
And eggs also move relatively faster, but
Faster
damn,
than-
these eggs are like cock expensive.
I
Have
mean,
you
dude-
seen how expensive the eggs are?
You know what's funny? This is I'll have to say this as well. There's an acquaintance of mine who actually helped me when I was doing research. Right? We were not talking anymore because I feel like he undercut me on something. Just before lockdown, he received word. Don't know from where. Don't ask me. Don't even DM me about this. He received word, and he said, "There's this thing happening in a few weeks, I think." And he said he had stocked up already. He's gotten some of his masks. He's gotten PPE. He's got his toilet papers in storage. You know, but he just found out this thing, and he's letting me know now. Like, okay, cool. So I got together with a friend of mine because, you know, business, always business minded. A friend of mine named Jig, and we started to do sanitizers. But our problem is we didn't know the depth of what it meant that he was saying, because lockdown had just it's never happened in my lifetime. I don't know what this is, you know. And so we bought not enough for the time. And so when lockdown officially happened, then we sold out the sanitizer. But I was upset because I could have bought more had he given me more heads up, you know. And so I said to myself that I need to get into an industry where I can have something in case something like this ever happens again. And I need to make sure that I have that as a thing that's bringing some passive income for me and that I can actually make money the right way, you know? And so farming came to mind when me and my partner were like thinking, okay, we also love this idea. Why don't we push it? And we started pushing it. So I thought I need something that's going to be consumed, basically, but consumed and never not consumed. And then eggs was the conversation.
Because I was good. That's what the point that you interjected as I was about to close. It's like
Yeah.
a pharmacy is like, okay, cool. I've got access to these things, right? Whether it's land or livestock, and I know people are going to eat forever.
Yeah.
But I also want to make a profit while people are eating.
Yeah.
They're not going to get the meat for free, or they're not going to get the chickens for free.
Yeah. And then God, sorry, I keep cutting you. I keep cutting you, bro. And then God was amazing because then the shortage happened. And I was like, yes. I'm like, yes.
Did someone call you? It's like, Doug, we're going to run out of eggs, so get into the egg business.
Nah,
Did you get another
I
call
think
like
that?
that?
Was just God. I think that was just me fighting on some, I'll never sleep on an opportunity again. And then shortage happened and I'm like, yes. And that helped us for like a whole year, sustain it for a whole year before we decided now to move into the other side of the business.
So how are you finding that? And how is that world of chickens and eggs leaving you a better person? Because I want you to be reflective, man.
I'm much more responsible, man. And I say this because of the fact that I was actually having a conversation with my partner about this, that before the farm, I wasn't really responsible for anything outside of my family, really, and myself. This journey has seen me have employees. I mean, one of my employees actually lives with his family on the farm. You know, he brought his family. And being responsible for all of those people really does do something for you. You become more mature. You make decisions better, I think. Like you always contemplate on what this decision would mean for instance, this person. And so I really do believe that the journey has been very transformative, especially to me, because now I don't take anything lightly. One, I am continuously grateful and understanding that anything can be taken away from you at any time. So really hold on to it and also be grateful for it, but also let go when you need to, you know. So yeah, it's been quite the journey. I'm actually quite the comedian now. I laugh. Anytime there's a problem. Back then, I used to go, yo, this problem is the worst problem in life right now. Oh my God. I'm imagining a shaking king as I laugh.
Yeah?
Yeah, I laugh now. I think it started as a coping mechanism, but now I think I start to understand what's the importance of it too.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Man, thank you so much for your light.
Thank you for having me,
I
brother.
appreciate you. Hopefully, if we do find time, we start a book club and we recommend books to each other.
okay,
And,
that'd be
then
dope.
we come and record and
Yeah.
talk about the books.
And also maybe write a book as well.
Yeah,
You know?
But let's start with reading the books.
You know, King and I, this is the last part. King and I actually thought that we were going to write a book, and we probably still will, where Sandile will be the front part, and Dumiso will be the back part, and they all...
The book, as the
so
story. So you can choose. In fact, if you're reading chapter 1,
yeah,
you can also read chapter 1 of
That's
Dumiso.
right.
Oh, so it comes
together in the center. So
Yeah.
you can read the entire...
What a crazy
and then
mind.
the entire, and then it's basically 2 books in one, but also making one fantastic book of like the journey of from engineering all the way to the industry, all the way to business, all the way to farming, and I'm still evolving today.
And I will leave you with this. God has made literally everyone a creative. Because we are created in his image. Therefore, ours is to keep on creating. Whatever it is that we're creating, please let us not stop. And that's my message to you, bro.
Thank you for the message, brother.
I appreciate you, man.
I will not comment because if I do, we won't stop. I started smiling because I'm like, yo, here's another topic that we have to get into.
Go ham.
Go
ham.
No, we've already dropped some lovely bars. Maybe we'll have another one and then we'll go deeper. Because I think every time we meet up, we've done so much that there's a lot that we have to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm also looking at the time that you gave me, and I'm like, it's a meeting. You need to go to a meeting.
I really do. But this was fun, man. This was fun. I'm glad that it happened now, and I'm glad that when it did happen, it happens in a time where I actually feel very self-reflective and introspective as well, you know, and I can share that with your people, man.
And what I like about our conversation, because you've said so much, I don't have to ask you to tell them whatever they are going through. If they want to be in the light that you are in, here's the blueprint. You've already shared enough. In fact, I think I need to start charging them for watching this content.
Hey, bro, that's what I'm saying. A book can come out of this conversation alone, brother. But parting words, I always say this. Listen, do not give up. That's literally the key. This is the key right here. Like, really do not give up. The reason why you're given the idea that you have is because you have the ability to make it, to actually make it happen. You know, you cannot imagine what you cannot do. And I mean this for real. Like, try right now. Imagine being a hair, like one strand of hair in a butt cheek. You can't. You can't. But you can imagine yourself being something else. And that something else has been given to you, and it's that music video that's playing in your head. And you lose nothing by trying your best into executing it. And yeah, just don't give up. Once you start to commit to something and once you start to visualize what you want to be for yourself, don't give up on that idea. That idea is self, and that idea is you. That idea is God. Thank you.
Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Yeah. Follow me, Sandile Mahlangu, aka Sandile M_ on Instagram. I am there. I am always sharing some knowledge, and I'm gonna do more of that this year as well. I'm also on Twitter. See me there. I'm getting back there as well. So yeah.
Twitter, that shit is too toxic.
But it's toxic because we leave. We can actually create a community there. We are the ones who leave. The ones who call it toxic are the ones who are leaving. And we can have a community there of people that are like-minded, and it's a platform at the end of the day. It's a beautiful platform because
I get your sentiment. I get your sentiment.
Okay.
I get your sentiment.
I'll see you there.
Yeah. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you subscribing and sharing the good word about Leave It Better. Till the next time, we're going to be on the road a lot more this year. So
Dope.
Maybe you got a cool spot you want us to come and check out. You could house us, feed us, give us an experience. Maybe we'll come there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Dango.
We gonna